Earth is a beautiful planet. Vast oceans stretch beyond the horizon. Dense forests breathe life into the atmosphere, and towering mountains stand as monuments to time itself. For billions of years, nature has thrived in perfect balance until we arrived. For centuries, humanity has shaped the world in its pursuit of power. We burned coal, drilled for oil, and split atoms, all in a relentless quest to fuel civilization. But the cost was high: poisoned air, rising seas, and an unstable climate. Now, in an age of reckoning, we turn to a new promise, one that glows under the sun, dances in the wind, and hums beneath the earth. Renewable energy, the dawn of a cleaner, greener future. Governments, industries, and investors have declared war on fossil fuels, pledging trillions of dollars to usher in the era of sustainability. They tell us that the age of pollution is ending, that technology will set us free. But has the history ever given us a progress without sacrifice? Has the story of humanity ever been written without a cost?
The South American country has gone from being dependent on fossil fuel imports for power to a renewable energy pioneer, but that also comes at a price.
Ordinary consumers are paying the price of the expansion of the renewable energy production.
Children as young as 5 are mining the prized white gold, lithium, an element critical to clean energy solutions.
Most of the lithium extracted in Nigeria is the product of exploitation. Children as young as 5 years old descend into mining shafts.
If children come to my mining site and they find lithium that they can sell and feed themselves, we will tell them to go ahead and help themselves.
Beneath the polished image of solar farms and wind fields lies an unsettling truth. A truth written not in headlines, but in the scars carved into the earth. In the voices of forgotten communities, in the ecosystems left to wither. Renewable energy, like every other industrial revolution before it, demands raw materials, and the hunger for these materials is already reshaping our world. Solar panels that will one day flood landfills, wind turbines that disrupt entire ecosystems, batteries that power electric cars built upon the backs of exploited labor. We are not escaping destruction, we are moving it elsewhere. A new crisis is emerging, not one of scarcity, but of consequences. The question is no longer just whether we can create a green future, but whether we can do it without leaving a trail of destruction in our wake. How green is green energy?
There's something in the water. I don't like the flavor, I don't like the taste. Searching for nirvana.
Electric vehicles, smartphones, and renewable storage systems all hinge on one miracle metal, lithium. But behind this promise of carbon-free future lies a harsh, unsustainable reality. Lithium has emerged as a pivotal mineral in the global transition towards clean energy. Its unique electrochemical properties make it indispensable for the high-performance batteries that power electric vehicles and store energy generated from the intermittent renewable sources like solar and wind. In recent years, the global push to decarbonize transportation and energy sectors has ignited an unprecedented surge in the demand for lithium, with forecasts indicating a dramatic increase in the consumption from approximately 500,000 tons in 2021 to over 3 million tons by the end of this decade. The lithium triangle alone, with its estimated trillion-dollar reserves, is at the heart of this global rush. The traditional extraction process here is brutal. Methods like brine evaporation, prevalent in South America, involve pumping lithium-rich brine from underground reservoirs into large, shallow ponds, where solar evaporation concentrates the lithium over an extended period, typically 12 to 24 months. This process is extremely water-intensive and can lead to the depletion of deep aquifers, which are often connected to sources of drinking water for local communities. In Chile's Atacama region, for instance, these operations consume roughly 65% of the available water each year, an unsustainable drain in one of the world's driest places. The consequences here are severe. In northern Argentina, for instance, towns like Tusacuelas depend on delicate water balances tied to salt flats. Intensive lithium extraction has disrupted these fragile systems, leading to critical water shortages and jeopardizing the very survival of indigenous communities. These salt flats are not just resources, they hold deep cultural and spiritual significance for local people as well. Environmental scientists warn that pumping vast amounts of brine can destabilize the delicate hydrological balance of arid regions and potentially contaminate freshwater sources, further degrading the ecosystem that have existed for a millennia. The environmental cost of this green technology is paradoxical. While lithium powers our path away from fossil fuels, its extraction is driving severe ecological and social disruption. Chile's Salar de Atacama stands as a stark example. Its intensive water use has rendered parts of the region barren, putting local agriculture and traditional ways of life at risk. As water is siphoned off to meet global demand, indigenous communities lose both a vital resource and a connection to their ancestral lands as well. And now the global race has expanded. Australia, China, and Chile stand out as major lithium producing nations. In 2023, Australia accounted for nearly half of the world's mined lithium production, followed by Chile, Argentina, and China. This global competition raises the same environmental and social challenges seen in the lithium triangle. The question is now, how will new lithium discoveries be managed globally? Will the mistakes of the past be repeated, or will the policies prioritize sustainability and community well being over short term profit?
From the dusty mesa, her looming shadow grows, hidden in the branches of the poison creosote.
Solar energy stands as a cornerstone of renewable revolution. These sleek panels converting sunlight into electricity symbolize our commitment to a future free from fossil fuels. But as the solar industry rapidly expands, an unforeseen crisis is looming, one of monumental waste. The very technology designed to save our planet is composed of complex cocktail of materials. Silicon, glass, aluminium, polymers, and even small quantities of rare earth metals. This intricate design, while efficient in harnessing photons, presents a significant challenge at the end of the solar panel's life cycle. Solar panels have an operational lifespan of roughly 25 to 30 years. As the first wave of large-scale solar installation reaches the end of their service life, the volume of waste is set to explode. Current recycling infrastructure is woefully inadequate to handle this deluge. While some components like aluminium and glass can be recovered, the process is complex, labor intensive, and economically strained. Many end of life panels end up in landfills, posing a threat to the environment and missing the opportunity to recover valuable resources. Projections paint a stark picture. The International Renewable Energy Agency forecasts a cumulative global solar PV waste of 4 million tons by 2030, escalating to almost 50 million tons by 2040, and even surpassing 200 million tons by 2050. This rapid increase in waste generation far outpaces the development and deployment of efficient recycling solutions. Current recycling capacity can only handle a fraction of this waste, creating an ever-widening gap. The solar revolution cannot truly be sustainable if it leaves behind a trail of toxic waste. We must act now to develop robust recycling infrastructure, promote responsible manufacturing practices, and implement effective policies. The future of solar energy and the health of our planet depends on it. The path to a sustainable future is not a straight line, nor is it paved with simple solutions. As we've seen, the quest for green energy, born from a desire to heal our planet, carries its own shadows. From the lithium scarred landscapes of South America to the mounting tide of solar waste. The promise of a cleaner tomorrow demands a clear eyed look at the cost of today. This is not a call to abandon the green revolution, it is a call to confront its uncomfortable truths. to demand transparency, to elevate those unheard, to redefine what it means to be sustainable, not just for today, but for generations to come.